Hello everybody, and welcome to the first Favar Draem. Today, we're talking about League of Legends. So for those who don't know, League of Legends is the most popular PC game there is to date. Half of that is due to it being free to play, and the other half is due to it being the cigarettes of gaming. Usually you saw somebody else play it first. It takes a little bit to get into it, very harsh at first, but especially if you have friends who do it, well, I think we all know how that goes. And so today, I'm going to talk about A, being a longtime player of the game, just some of the things that grind my gears about the game, and B, having the second season of Arcane been announced and all that, I'll be talking about what I do like about the lore and the world and what I hope to see in the second season. Things of that nature. But before we get into all of that, I would just like to say to everybody who did click on this video and watched this long, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. Now, little backstory on how I was taught and my journey through League of Legends. I was taught by my older brothers, and I started off in the top lane playing old Udyr, migrated to the bot lane and main Jinx, until I just kinda didn't really care where I played. So I played Phil, and at the time, and for a long time, I would constantly get put in support. Makes sense. Least popular position. Everybody likes doing damage, one-shotting people, all that good stuff. Well, by the time the first season of Arcane came out, League of Legends had a big community, obviously, but there was a large influx of new players. Now, in normal games, this would be a good thing. A lot of inexperienced people coming in that the vets can really take advantage of. Not in League of Legends. League of Legends is much more of a team sport. And let me tell you, when your team doesn't know what they're doing, it's a great feeling. And so here's my advice to anybody thinking about joining the game, or some of you who are currently playing. Don't start as a support main. I say this as a man who did. And let me tell you, you're not going to like it. That ain't the way to play League of Legends. That ain't the way to learn League of Legends. I understand you might like support in other games. That might just be your jam in general. I completely get it. Support is a fun role to play. Don't start out that way. Learn to do the damage. Learn what all the characters do. Do not be afraid to play characters, especially characters that other people recommend you play. Just play them. Any character that you play against that you find annoying, play that character. Learning a character that you can't stand to play against is one of the best feelings you can have in League of Legends, and some of the most fun you're going to have. Now, when do I recommend you jump into support maining? When you feel you have a good grasp on most, if not all, of the champions' kits. Now, I know that's a large undertaking, but again, that's why we don't main support first. It just makes the game better for everybody when we all know what's going on. We're all aware where the damage is coming from. All of that fun stuff. Which leads me into another point, ranked. Now, if you want to play ranked, you psychopath, when do I suggest you play ranked? Well, you should probably only play ranked when you have a very firm grasp on the role you're playing. Which means you should probably have a very firm grasp on two roles, the roles you're going to queue up as, in ranked. Which means having experience on a lot of the roster, again, it doesn't have to be all, a very large roster, but having a lot of experience against or playing as a lot of the champions on the roster. Now, for the people who don't want to wait that long, don't want to go through that, they just like the competitive atmosphere of ranked, stop it. You are the problem. Stop it. Stop it. Ah! Stop it! Put it down. No, you go to normals. You practice first. Because, good lord, the amount of times I have been in a ranked game with people who, this is the first time they're playing their champion, this is the first time they're playing their role, they're drunk, which is a whole nother thing. Why are you playing ranked drunk? Man angry about League of Legends on internet. I understand pissing people off can be funny, but this shit? Nah. You're the reason there's an ELO hell. You're the reason League of Legends fucking sucks. 'Cause yeah, the community is toxic. What video game community is it? You're the reason we are so toxic, though. Alright, off that soapbox. On to ARAMs. Now, I really like ARAMs. ARAMs can be a very easy way to mix it up in League of Legends when you're feeling stuck, which is very easy to do when you play things like Ranked. ARAM stands for All Random, All Mid. Thus, it's a little harder to get angry at champ select and things like that. It's more like, oh, well, we just lost. It's okay. On to the next. It's also faster pace, so you're less invested in the game. Having said that, there are these special conditions for ARAM. The most major one, and the one I find the most annoying, as most people do, a debuff to team healing, which means if you heal a teammate, it is cut in half. Now, what should that tell you? Maybe we shouldn't be playing supports that heal a lot. Maybe I should just play characters that do damage and learn to do damage more efficiently as those characters, so I can better help my team accomplish the goal of, winning the ARAM. Having said that, it's not saying you can't play support characters and not find success playing those support characters in ARAM. Not saying that at all. What I am saying is that 90% of you can't play those supports to a level or even know when to play those supports so that you can succeed playing them within such a debuffed state. This isn't shot calling anybody, this isn't trying to call anybody out. I'm just stating the facts. So stop playing. Please, just stop playing healing supports in ARAM. I get it, just learn to do damage though. You will be better off as a support and as a League of Legends player in general for it. Please. Alright. On to the story. And so the quickest way I can break this down is Runeterra is based around balance. Pure and simple. Everything about it is. And this can be seen very clearly when you look at certain characters' backstories and even character designs, such as the in-lore embodiment of death, Kindred, which takes the form of a humanoid lamb and a floating spectral wolf, symbolizing their universe's Jacob's ladder, as it were. The lamb giving a swift and painless death to those who accept it and are ready to go, and wolf hunting down and tearing apart those who run from death and are afraid of it. But the character that really hit this point home for me was Shen, the Eye of the Twilight. Shen and Zed, another character, were being trained for the Eye of the Twilight position, as it were. And when it came time for one of them to be chosen, Shen was chosen. Zed, not liking this, became a Shadow Ninja, as it were. This is because the whole point of the Eye of the Twilight is to teleport around the world and keep that balance. He has one blade for anything on the mortal plane he needs to kill, and one blade for anything on the spectral plane he needs to kill, keeping the balance everywhere. Quite literally. Now this would also make sense that Zed would do what he did, becoming an agent of pure chaos, wanting to disrupt that balance at any cost. And League of Legends plays with this dichotomy very well, especially within character design and lore. And now that I've pointed this out, going into all the other character designs, you can start piecing together the puzzle pieces of, oh, they're just the exact opposite of this. And when you start viewing the lore with that lens, it all starts to make more sense. Now, having said that, Arcane. I did really like Arcane. It did a good job of introducing people to a very palatable part of the lore, but I don't think it did a good enough job of really hammering home the balance part. It didn't do a terrible job. The Jinx and Vi dichotomy. Both being from Zon, both not liking the place that Piltover has over Zon, but both going about that obviously in a very different way. Or even Jace and Victor, both accepting Piltover's part in the world and doing their best to help the people around them. Obviously, they both have very different views that I will imagine we'll get into more within the second season. Now that comes into my hopes. We were briefly introduced to Noxus, so I do hope we do get more Noxus, a few Noxus settings at the very least, if not more Noxus characters. So my hopes for the second season would just be that they introduce more characters and more lands that really hammer home this balance. So I really liked Heimerdinger in the show. Obviously, I wish he'd be a little more yordly, kind of like the video game portrays them, more childlike in their wonder for their obsession. But he served his purpose in the story, and it was very, very well-written character, and I did enjoy it a lot. But you know who was missing? You know the Yordle we were missing? The counterpart to Heimerdinger that was just absent the whole time? And I know I'm preaching for a lot of League of Legends fans when I say this. Where's Ziggs? Where is Professor Sigismund? Where is he? Where's my boy Ziggs? Where is the opposite side of the scientific coin from Heimerdinger Ziggs? Where is my nuclear bomb dropping homie Ziggs? Sorry about that. I'm okay. But yeah, that would be about all my hopes for the second season of Arcane. Other than that, it was phenomenally done. I love the art style, I love the music, well-written story. Great. I just hope you hammer home that dichotomy and that point of the universe a little more. And introduce more characters. Where's Sigismund? And before you go, for those still watching, thank you so much. I do appreciate it a lot. And please share this video with anybody you know who's thinking about getting into League of Legends or does play League of Legends. Because the first part of this video, that message needs to get out.